Good morning, everyone. Wish everyone a peaceful, relaxing, prosperous, and productive morning. Same as I've had. Great start to the day. Was able to enjoy my gratitude and visualization sessions and get out into the community, do my meal drop offs. Now I'm back and the day is rolling. Feel bright. Feel a lot of energy. And I feel that life is on my side. Which is one of the best mindsets to have. To understand that life is on our side. As I was doing the meal drop offs, I was listening to some Steve Harvey and then did the dishes and continued listening. And he shared a story about how while he was working at Ford Motor Company and working in the foundry, how the block of an engine gets made. And he shared that it actually starts out as scrap metal from old cars, and then they melt the metal down and it's just a mess, and then the melted metal gets put into a mold which shapes it to be the block. And enlightenment is that block. Living your purpose and knowing who you are. That's the engine block. And it's important to understand that to get to that block, we most likely started off as scraps and then got heated up and turned into something that no longer resembles anything that we represented. A time of transformation. And then through this transformation, the block is able to be built. And one piece he talked about as well is, if you're closer to the block than you are to the scrap, don't forget what it was like to be the scrap. And be there for those individuals. I decided the goal is to share 5 at 5. So ideally, in an ideal situation, when I create my ideal perfect reality, I will be releasing these videos at 5 a.m. on a daily basis. So my guy Chance York got the meditation live at 5 in the evenings. So I figured I'd have some positive content to wake everybody up early at 5 in the morning. Just cracked open this book yesterday. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Right out of the introduction, I really enjoyed this. What we're going to talk about is the difference between knowing something in terms of I'm aware of it, to knowing something in terms of I know how to do it, to knowing something in terms of this is now a part of me. Absorbing knowledge, knowing, and then gaining practical experience by applying what you learned until a particular skill became ingrained in you, knowing how, is probably how you acquired most of the abilities that now feel like a part of your being, knowingness. So I'd like to relate this to learning how to shoot a basketball. Absorbing knowledge, knowing. Well, that's when you got your coach giving us the simple foundational principles of shooting. You saw them shoot. They gave you the foundational beef. Make sure you got balance. Where are your eyes looking? Where's your elbow? How's your follow through? So that's knowing. That's absorbing knowledge. Until a particular skill became ingrained in you through gaining practical experience and applying what you learned. Well, that is now knowing how. Now that I know it and I've taken some reps, now I know how to do it. So I'm knowing how, and I'm taking a lot of shots. And I'm working, and I'm working. It's still not natural because I haven't perfected it. How over time, it will become something that we've perfected to the point where it feels like it's a part of our being, knowingness. I can shoot without having to think about it. It's just second nature. And Dr. Dispenza is going to focus on having our second nature be an optimistic perspective towards life. Be a perspective towards life that we have an attitude of, I can achieve anything I believe in. Again, one of my favorite quotes, Napoleon Hill, anything the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. So I conceive an idea of jumping out of an airplane at 10,000 feet. Although I don't believe I would live from that without a parachute, so therefore I can't achieve it. I can conceive the idea of being able to dunk a basketball off an alley-oop. I believe that I can do that. Therefore, I can achieve it. Talked about this yesterday. Setting our intention on what we want to manifest in our life is key. Writing it down and making it plain. Habakkuk 2:2. Write the vision and make it plain, so that all who see it may become energized. Something like that around there. However, at the end of the day, Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain. We need to write down our goals every day. We have to tell life what direction we want life to take us in. We have to write it down. We would not go to California without putting the address in our GPS. We wouldn't just drive there blindly without having direction. We need to tell life what direction we want our life to go. Otherwise, it's just going to be all over the place. And you're going to get some of what you want, and you're going to get some of what you don't want. Now, when you write down your direction, you're still going to get some of what you don't want, only because that's part of life. Because we got to go through dirt, which is actually soil and has nutrients. We got to go through hardships to become the best version of ourselves. However, there's going to be much less hardship, or there's going to be more meaning to the hardship if we know what direction we're going. I wish you all a beautiful, prosperous, productive, joyful, happy, uplifting, confident, and relaxing day. Much love as always. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste.